Hawks fans, it has started, Hawks fans. I'm talking about something that we knew that was going to happen from the beginning, but Jaylen Johnson is about to change everything. I'm talking about literally everything. And don't be mistaken, we have a huge matchup, prime time matchup coming up tonight versus the Detroit Pistons, and we're going to get into it. Quick video for you guys, but effective. Trust me and believe. Welcome back to Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tip Moore. Leave your shoes by the door as you get ready for what's in store in this particular video, talking about Mr. Jaylen Johnson. But before I get into it, I don't have necessarily the numbers because the numbers are regenerating because we are reaching new plateaus. So thank you for everyone who is subscribed to Hawks Digest. We couldn't do it without you guys. And if you are not subscribed to Hawks Digest right now, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I'm telling you, this is the place to be where you need all info surrounding the Atlanta Hawks. You can come right here, right now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Hawks Digest family. But, guys, again, this video right here surrounded around a guy that we know was just going to be a terror. We saw it a few years ago. Honestly, we knew, some people knew, not everybody. I know there's a lot of skeptics when we first drafted JJ, but getting him at that 19 spot, that's a top 10 pick that slid all the way down because people was worried about injury concerns. Now you see that Jaylen Johnson, after going down to College Park, honing his skills, coming back up, working out with LeBron 2 off seasons in a row now, and now the Jaylen Johnson revenge tour after that torn labrum that he had to have surgery from that cost him his season last year around in the January mark. So now he's back. Now he's poised. Now we're getting a return value on Jaylen Johnson. Let's talk about some things that Jaylen has been doing so far. Mr. Johnson, he has been named the Eastern Conference Player of the Week and has been instrumental in the Hawks going 4-0 on that West Coast trip, something they haven't did since the 1960s. So that right there just lets you know how long it's been since the Atlanta Hawks, outside of Dominique Wilkins, and having a team that can be able to go 4-0 because the Western Conference has always been pretty tough, for the most part in NBA history. And for this to happen for the Atlanta Hawks, that's big. That's huge. So maybe, hopefully, moving forward, that can be something that the Atlanta Hawks do more often. But let's get back into JJ, shall we? In 4 games this past week, Jaylen Johnson has averaged 24 points, 12 rebounds, 9.3 assists, 2.5 steals in less than 35 minutes. 34.8 minutes. Still less than 35s. Now, his field goal percentage, let's get to that. Field goal percentage, 60% from the field, 603. Also, 57.1 from the 3-point percentage, it's in 57, 571. Also, free throw percentage is 78.3, 783 from its free from the foul line, which is, not bad at all. JJ is working on getting those free throws up. At the end of the day, the Atlanta Hawks are a perfect 4-0, sweeping that Western Conference trip, having a few blowouts in that as well. And again, first time since like the 60s that has happened. 6'9" forward Jaylen Johnson had posted 25 points on 9 of 13 shooting from the field, including 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal in 39 minutes. And that is another historic comeback win. Hawks taking down those Phoenix Suns. That was actually a small test. Well, no, I'll take it back. It was a big test because when I think about the people who are over there at the Phoenix Suns, you may say, hey, they don't have superstars outside of Devin Booker. I will give you that. But what they do have, they have guys over there like Ryan Dunn. They have guys over there like Dillon Brooks, who, he gets under people's skin. But at the end of the day, that's one of those guys that you love to play with them, hate to play against them. And you just think about just that team. They got Royce O'Neal over there, another guy who can shoot the three. and play some defense as well. So you look at the Hawks, for them to be able to come back from a 22-point deficit with, Zaccharie Risacher going down in that game, and honestly, that was a scare because that man flipped in the air and fell. And I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous for my second year guy. Like, I got upset too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't like that. But at the same time, the boys went out, and Jaylen Johnson, was the man that stepped up in the huddle and said, "Guys, let's go win this game for Zaccharie Risacher." So that's showing leadership. Okay. Also, remember, Jaylen Johnson put up those historical numbers as well, almost nearly a quadruple double versus the Utah Jazz. So, regardless, Jaylen Johnson, with Trae Young being out, Jaylen Johnson is the clear cut number one. He was always the number two if Trae was in the lineup for me. But now that Trae is out of the lineup right now, resting up with that knee, Jaylen Johnson is the clear cut number one, as he should be. He has embodied that point forward role to the fullest, guys. To the fullest. You're seeing he's able to make plays. He's able to see the floor because that 6'9" frame, and when he's at the top of the key, gives him all options to see exactly who's cutting, who's moving without the ball, who he can possibly help facilitate and continue to be like a connector. Sometimes even if he doesn't have the ball, he can still be a connector or pass it to a connector, because it's a lot of versatility for the Atlanta Hawks. So, yes, Jaylen Johnson Revenge Tour is here. Jaylen Johnson, Eastern Conference Finals Player of the Week. Again, man, JJ, keep doing what you're doing. We're loving it here in Atlanta. This guy is a monster. And soon, he's going to be an all-star as long as he stays healthy. But guys, let me get into also another important thing in this video. Real quick, it's not going to be long for you. And it is a huge matchup tonight. The Detroit Pistons are coming to town, and the Atlanta Hawks have to defend the State Farm Arena versus these guys. Now, when you look at the matchup, a lot of people are surprised about what the Detroit Pistons are doing. And I understand that. But in the recent matchups, the last 5 matchups, the Pistons have won 3 times. The Atlanta Hawks have won 2 times. In the most recent result, the Detroit Pistons beat the Atlanta Hawks back on February 23rd, 2025, 148 to 143 at State Farm Arena, getting their lick back because the Hawks defeated those Pistons on February 3rd, 2025, 132-130 at the Caesars Palace Arena. So the Hawks and the Pistons really have been kind of going back and forth when it comes all the way dating back to April 3rd, 2024. So dating back all the way then, these teams are kind of been neck and neck. They're growing and getting better. Now the 12-2. Yes, that's right. If you didn't know, the 12-2, who are on a 10-game winning streak, Detroit Pistons, they are favored by 1.5 points in tonight's game. But again, Atlanta has won 5 in a row in their own regard. They hold a 9-5 record this season, trying to get into double digits. This is the perfect time to get into double digits. And the Phoenix Suns had a win streak of 5 games as well. The Atlanta Hawks were able to snap that. Can the Atlanta Hawks put it together on both ends of the floor, making the Pistons play their type of game of getting out and running and being able to overtake and end another win streak? We'll see. We will see, but it's going to be very interesting. Both teams are dealing with injuries to key, and I do mean key players. Of course, Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks. Cade Cunningham is questionable for the Detroit Pistons. He's been having a hip issue. And one thing about it, man, those hips ain't nothing to play with as far as, being able to have mobility and everything. So, I mean, you think about it, even Drake London for the Atlanta Falcons was dealing with a hip injury. And so, regardless, so those hips, you have to take good care of them. You have to. Also, again, with those 2 guys being out, that means other guys on the team have got to fill those roles and fill those voids. So I got guys like also on the injury list. Questionable Onyeka Okongwu with a knee, questionable Kristaps Porzingis with a knee, and of course Zaccharie Risacher with that hip. He's day to day, but he's questionable for tonight. If he misses tonight's game, I wouldn't be surprised. That would be precautionary, and I would expect to definitely see him in the next contest for the Atlanta Hawks. Also, for the Pistons, Sir Thompson, he has an ankle. Marcus Sasser has a hip. Tobias Harris has an ankle. Jaden Ivey, you remember for those who doesn't know, he had some surgery, so he's still trying to come back from a knee injury. And also, they still missing Ron Hollins, Javante Green. So both teams are really going through it, and they're trying to piece together this and see who can be able to overtake each other. But you think about it, guys, this right here is another measuring stick for our Hawks. The Detroit Pistons are a team that are on the rise. And honestly, for those who have been watching me, remember when they released the Christmas games, I said, man, NBA, y'all just really just botched it because how do y'all not put the Detroit Pistons, who are on the rise, and also the Atlanta Hawks, who are on the rise, two teams, you know, they had pretty good off seasons, especially the Atlanta Hawks having a great off season, but you also mesh that with what the Pistons have been doing with their coach JD Bickerstaff and how he has those guys playing up there. You could have had you a prime time matchup on Christmas, and you still have time to do that. You can flex some things, NBA, because these two teams right here, the Pistons are the number one seed, and right now the Hawks are the number 4 seed, but really kind of technically tied for third, because they have the same record as the Raptors. But of course, you know the Raptors have beaten us twice. Two of their 9 wins are off the Hawks, of course, and 2 of our 5 losses are going to those guys. So right now, you're gonna have to figure that out with the Raptors, but that's neither here or there right now. Focus on the Detroit Pistons. We have an opportunity to end a 10-game win streak versus these guys, and we also have the opportunity to get into the double digits as in wins and be 10-5 on a 6-game win streak. Yeah, so the Atlanta Hawks, they have the opportunity. I would say golden opportunity, but honestly, I want to say a platinum opportunity because again, that would be taking down the current number 1 seed in the NBA and boosting yourself up possibly to the 3rd seed. So right now we have a lot of things to play for. Right now the Atlanta Hawks are playing team basketball, real basketball. Guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker are showing up. Luke Kennard is starting to get more and more comfortable within the offense, being able to find his shot. Again, the team is gelling. It's still not fully gelled. There's still some things that the Hawks have to work on. Yes, it is, you know. But at the same time, I'm very encouraged because they are headed in the right direction. So you got to be mindful of that. But guys, I'm going to get up out of here. Look out for the post game as well. Make sure y'all always, keeping that subscribe button hit and also that notification bell hit as well so you guys are notified when Hawks Digest, whether if it's me, Chris Tip Moore, or my guy Walter J. Pollard dropping videos. Just make sure that you're tuning in to us because this is the place to be. So, guys, until next time, we move. Let's go, Hawks. Let's get this win and let's continue to elevate. Continue to elevate, guys. We deserve this. Love you guys. Until next time, peace and blessings to you all and to you all. Oh, yeah.